They skipped my daughter's funeral for a party, so I took everything back. If this story moves you, please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps more than you know. Now, let's begin. My name is Rowyn Ashford, and 3 weeks ago, I buried my 8-year-old daughter, Rosie. She loved rocket ships, banana pancakes, and glitter stickers. Every Saturday morning, we'd stack pancakes so high they'd tilt like a tower. She'd giggle and yell, defying gravity, before smashing syrup on top. Her room was a galaxy of her own making. Constellations on the ceiling, books about astronauts by her pillow, and glitter stars stuck to every surface, including the cat. And on the day we said our final goodbye, my sister and mother threw a party instead. Not just any party, a housewarming. For the house my grandmother meant to leave to me and Rosie. A house filled with childhood echoes, bedtime stories, and Christmas mornings. A house I thought would always be ours. That morning, I sat outside the funeral home in my car, gripping the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles turned white. My heart was pounding like it was trying to escape. I stared at the last message I got from my sister, Celeste. Just one word. Okay. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm thinking of you. No, we're on our way. Just okay. I read it over and over, as if more reading would reveal something hidden between the letters. But there was nothing, just cold silence packed into 2 letters. My hands trembled. I couldn't even unlock my phone again. I hadn't heard anything from my mother either, until she called 10 minutes before the service. She sounded chipper, like she was heading to a brunch date. Rowyn, we can't make it today. Celeste's housewarming's been on the calendar for weeks. It's important. Important? More important than her granddaughter's funeral? I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I said nothing. But something inside me shifted. Not like a crack. Like steel being melted, reforged, reshaped. I walked into that chapel and buried my daughter alone. Not a single drop of blood relation by my side. Just silence. Just an empty front row marked reserved, like a cruel joke. Photos of Rosie smiled back at me from easels. Her in her superhero cape, in her princess dress, painting rainbows that always bled off the page. I didn't just bury my child that day. I buried every illusion I had left about family. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat in my car outside the house, my grandmother's house, now Celeste's forever home. Through the window, I saw people laughing, toasting, wine glasses clinking. The same room where Rosie used to build pillow forts was now filled with influencer lighting and people taking selfies. I didn't rage. I didn't cry. I planned. At 6 a.m., I called Mr. Carroll again. Start the eviction process. Today. His voice didn't flinch. Understood. Next, I called Noel. We hadn't spoken since the funeral, but he answered on the first ring. Rowyn, he asked, his voice raw. I need your help, I said. For Rosie. He was at my apartment that night, and he came prepared. A folder full of emails, screenshots, messages, even a journal. I didn't even know he'd been saving it all. We sat at the kitchen table until 2 a.m., the same one where Rosie used to draw. The folder slowly grew into a pile of receipts, emotional and legal, tracing years of quiet betrayal. One message stuck in my throat. It was an email from my landlord. Weeks earlier, he'd been contacted by my mother, claiming I was mentally unwell and instructing that my rent be redirected to her. I stared at that message for a long time, while I sat beside Rosie in the hospital, holding her tiny hand as she slipped away. My own mother tried to steal the roof over our heads. The next afternoon, I returned to the house. My house, legally and rightfully mine. And I wasn't alone. 2 officers stood at my side. The eviction notice was in my hand, shaking only slightly. Celeste opened the door wearing yoga pants, holding a smoothie. Her face dropped when she saw the uniforms. Her mouth twitched when she saw me. What the hell is this? She snapped. It's over, I said flatly. You have 48 hours. She exploded. She screamed so loudly it startled a neighbor's dog. She cursed, accused, threatened. But the officers were calm, professional. This property does not belong to you, one of them said. It is under the legal ownership of Miss Ashford. I turned away, but I couldn't help it. I stopped and looked back. I buried my daughter alone, I said, locking eyes with her, while you popped champagne in her favorite room. No response, just rage in her eyes. That night, I changed every lock. By morning, I had 4 security cameras installed and everything routed to a cloud account. I didn't want revenge. I wanted evidence. It didn't take long. 2 nights later, just past midnight, I was half asleep when my phone buzzed. Motion detected. I opened the live feed. Celeste. She crept around the side of the house like a bad horror movie villain, a metal bat in her hand. She paused by the back window, Rosie's old room, and with one loud crack, shattered the glass like it was nothing. I didn't hesitate. 911, what's your emergency? My sister is breaking into my home. I have live security footage. I'm watching her right now. Police arrived in minutes. I waited outside, cold wind biting through my sweatshirt, phone still in hand, the footage still streaming. When they brought her out, she looked like a wreck. Hair disheveled, mascara smeared, barefoot. Her fury practically steamed off her skin. You called the cops on your own sister? She spat. I didn't even blink. You made me bury mine alone, I replied. She was arrested for breaking and entering and for vandalism. And yet I pressed charges. Immediately. No second chances. The next morning, I heard the knock. It was my mother. She looked theatrical, tear-streaked, makeup. Purse clutched like she was heading to church. I opened the door, but only halfway. Rowyn, she began, voice trembling, please. This has gone too far. We're family. I stood silent for a moment. Then I said, slowly, no, family shows up. Family holds your hand while you bury your child. You chose Prosecco over presents. You chose a party over your granddaughter. Her face changed. Just like that. The sorrow melted. The mask cracked. You've always been dramatic, she snapped. You're making a spectacle of this. Do you even realize what this is doing to our family's name? I tilted my head. Calm. You should have thought about that before you sold your soul for likes and sangria. Then I shut the door. Right? In. Her. Face. Later that day, Celeste pulled the oldest trick in the book. She posted a sob story video on Facebook. It was edited within an inch of its life. Slow zooms. Sad piano music. Her standing outside the house, sobbing into the camera. He violently evicted me. This was my safe space. I was grieving in my own way. The comments section lit up. Rosie's teacher was the first one to respond. I was at the funeral. The front row was empty. Then Rosie's hospice nurse added. I held Rowyn's hand as Rosie passed. He was alone. Then came the big one. The county health board, Celeste's employer, suspended her pending a full investigation. Apparently, calling in sick for a week and then posting selfies with wine glasses while dodging a funeral isn't great optics for a public servant. Her career? Vaporized. Meanwhile, my lawyer hit them both with cease and desist orders. They were legally banned from posting my name or my daughter's name anywhere online. And finally, I made my last move. I met with Mr. Carroll one last time. I want to donate the house, I said. He blinked. You sure? I nodded. Give it to the Children's Cancer Foundation. Make sure it helps someone who actually deserves it. 1 week later, I returned to the now empty house to walk through it one final time. The air was different now. Not heavy, not haunted, just still. In the corner of Rosie's old room, behind a stack of dusty books, I found a drawing she'd made. A stick figure in a red cape, flying through the sky. My mommy is a superhero, it said in crooked, purple letters. And for the first time in months, I cried. Not from pain, not from anger, from peace. Today, I live in a small apartment. The walls are lined with Rosie's art. Every Sunday, I run art therapy sessions at the Children's Hospital. Some parents come too. Parents like me, who've lost what can't be replaced. We don't talk much. We draw. We sit. We breathe. And sometimes that's enough. I've learned silence has a language of its own. And mine says, you try to erase me, but all you did was give me the fire to rebuild. I didn't just survive you. I outgrew you. Forever.